It's Carter Sports back, and today we head down south to Florida for another recruit on them defensive linemen. But before I start this video, can y'all please hit that like and subscribe? And let's go.
Disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Entering into the chat, we got Myron Charles, y'all. A 6'5", 290-pound defensive end from Port Charlotte, Florida. You know what I'm talking about? On 3 Sports has him as the 67th best recruit in the 2025 class. You hear me? While 247 Sports and Rivals rank him at 240 and 160th respectfully. It's worth noting that usually the major recruiting outlets have a small spread between where they rank each recruit. However, in the case of Charles, there's a huge discrepancy in terms of how each recruiting network views his talent. This may point to Charles being a more of a low floor, high ceiling prospect as opposed to a high floor prospect. The kid's huddle film is just a clinic, y'all. Let me tell you, the kid huddle film is just a clinic on how to punch and extend against offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Check out this kid film. He run a clinic, you know what I'm talking about? Good kid, good burner. One of these top prospects, another must get or must type that USC gotta have. You know? He got solid pad level. He got solid pad level throughout. But you know, he could get a little wild with his swim moves. But that's normal. That's normal for taller high school defensive linemen. You see it commonly with taller high school defensive linemen. They gotta tighten up their movements. So, you know, it doesn't raise a big red flag by any means at all. It's actually a good sign, because it's like, even when he wild with it, he's still getting, you know, results. So once you coach him up to get his technique tight and in tune and the right body mechanics with it, he gonna be devastating. The only really critique besides that to his game, I'll say, is he perhaps, you know, he tends to use his size and speed to win in pass rush situations rather than technique. But this is perfect for Coach Heaney. You know what I'm saying? You got size and speed, and you winning with that. So let me teach you this technique. Now you're gonna be dominant. If you could dominate even on a high school level with average technique, that shows if you get your technique up to excellent, up to above average, then you're gonna be able to do some things. You're gonna be able to flash at least on the college level, make some plays. Cause he the prototype. Now these are the perfect prototypes for Eric Henney. You know what I'm saying? A guy with size and speed. So all Eric Henney gotta do is teach him everything he know, cause he got the physical. So this is the type of player he gonna be as good as much information and teaching he can absorb. So while he's big, strong, and quick, you know, we see why some major recruiting networks have such a varied opinion of him as a prospect. I don't. I look at this kid film and then say, with the right coaching, he's a star. You know what I'm saying? He's a star. So this Myron Charles, and you know, I think he a top 100 player for sure, at the least. And if I'm going off potential, If I'm going off just potential, he at least top 50. I mean, check out the film. And he got them things you can't teach. When a player got them things you can't teach, all you got to do is teach them the teachable things. All they got to have is a motor and the ability to absorb knowledge and the ability to learn techniques and execute them. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't a guaranteed thing, but pretty much it's for sure thing. These kids are phenomenal young men. They can learn technique. They gonna get it. So all he need is Eric Henny. You know what I'm saying? These one of them players. A lot of players is gonna be on what type of coaching they got to develop. A lot of players that don't make it ain't be because they didn't have it. It's because they didn't have the right coaching. See, when you going through high school and college, you need coaching to get you up to the next level. Just your physical ability ain't gonna get you to the next level because everybody big and fast in college. So you gotta have some game with it. So we bring this kid to USC, let Eric Henny coach him up. He gonna have some game. He gonna do damage for sure. You know what I mean? He's one of them kids gonna do damage for sure. So if I'm a kid right now, especially a defensive lineman, I don't know how I'm not going to USC. Because that I'm damn near basically guaranteed myself to the NFL with the coaching they got over there. So what y'all think about Myron Charles out of Port Charlotte, Florida? Now I'm talking about Eric Henny went to his house. I'm pretty sure he left a great impression. But until then, I'm going to keep giving y'all these prospects out of high school, especially these defensive players and these defensive linemen. I got some receivers in the clip. I'm saving the receivers probably for a little later because you know we got offense, and I know what y'all thirsty for. Y'all thirsty for the defensive players. So I'm loading them up first. But until the next player in the next video, it's your boy Carter Sports. And until then, let's go.